Is The Ritual really one of the worst horror films of 2025? As far as the films go, like I've seen worse than this. The biggest problem with this film is that it is just so boring. And it's one of these exorcism films that does what I hate so much, in which it's just presenting you with the same tropes over and over and over again. I'm going to say this for the 100th time. Having characters just coming in and explaining things through exposition is never going to be as impactful as actually showing us. For example, this film, you have Dan Stevens, who tragically lost his brother, and this is a big part of his character and what his character is dealing with in terms of faith. However, we never get to see that relationship between him and his brother. Everything that we know about his brother is just told through him talking. Compare that to something like The Exorcist with Father Karras, right? Father Karras having a very similar narrative arc. In that film, it's his mother. The difference being that we get to actually see that relationship with his mom before he loses her. We get to see that deterioration with her. We understand his pain. We understand through that why he would be questioning faith. It might not seem like much when you're watching it, but I promise you that is the clear difference between a great film like The Exorcist and something like The Ritual. It is having actual character development and showing that development through behaviors and actions and relationships. The other biggest problem with this film is that it's just shot weird. Like, it wants to have that kind of found footage, documentary type feel to it. And the thing with this film is that they set up that as the priests are trying to exorcise this demon out of this girl, they start to lose sense of reality. So it would have been one thing if you had started the camera work kind of steady, maybe a little bit off balance. And then as things progressively get worse, the camera movement gets more and more erratic. Then you're having it parallel the character's psychology, but the camera work here is just erratic from the beginning. You'll have moments where characters are saying something very serious and the camera is just zooming in and out of their face. And it just comes across as unintentionally comedic. I was just sitting there looking at Al Pacino and Dan Stevens, who are two actors that I really love a lot. And I was just like, what are you two doing? I would imagine for Dan Stevens, the chance to work opposite with a legend like Al Pacino was probably enough incentive for him to agree to this film, no matter how shitty the script was. Al Pacino, I don't know. So yes, not the worst film that I've ever seen. It's just not offering anything new. How do we revive this subgenre? And do we even need to revive it at this point? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.